Today we are taking another question from the jar, and this is to encourage mothers and daughters, and I think just in general kids and parents, to talk a little more, because I was really thinking about this and how much do we actually know about our own parents, right? We know them as parents, like mom and dad, but we don't actually know. I'm sorry, this is a generalization. I mean, some of you might, but I feel like the majority are like me, where you might not know much about your parents and who they were before they had you. And I'm starting to see that as my oldest is getting bigger. I'm just realizing that it's kind of funny she sees me as this figure of mommy, you know, as an expert or this authoritative figure in her life. But really inside, I kind of feel like I'm just winging it. Like, I'm doing my best every day. I feel like I'm still growing and I'm still young. So it's pretty interesting to see how this dynamic plays out every day. So yeah, let's just take a question from the jar. I'm curious to see what she wants to know. Ooh, so she said, when do you feel life was most joyful and lucky? Oh, that's a fun one. When do I feel that life was most joyful and lucky? I think, as corny as it sounds, it's probably now. I feel like as I've moved into my 30s, it's, you know, when my kids were really young and you're in the thick of it with your first or second or whatever else, I felt like you're kind of lost. Like, I felt like I lost myself for a little bit. I didn't know who I was, what I wanted, what my goals and ambitions were. I kind of felt like I was just floating through life. I do feel like lately, in my late 30s, I have some clarity of what I want to be doing with my own life and how I want to raise my kids and how I want to parent, how I want to be in a relationship with my husband, like how I want to show up every day. So yeah, I do feel like it's kind of this sense of clarity and confidence, and yeah. I mean, I do obviously struggle, I'm human. But I will say the most joyful and lucky because I get to do exactly what I wanted to do. And when I was younger, this is what I had envisioned life to kind of be like. I didn't actually know it would come true. So that's magical in itself. And then joyful because I just get to see my kids grow up every day, and it's really, I know, like, if you guys are young in your 20s and you're like, whatever, this doesn't apply to me, but what's crazy about seeing little kids grow is just how fast you can just see their brains developing, the habits forming, the preferences, the likes. It's just really amazing, like, just to see it all unfold in front of you. But what this also does, I will say, is that it makes you very conscious about every choice that you make. And so I think it's forced me to be very intentional with, you know, like, what am I doing? What message am I sending to my girls? And what kind of person do I want to be? Because if I'm trying to teach my kids to be good people, be generous, be giving, be kind, I mean, they need to see someone to model that behavior. And so I think it's just like a really fun time of growth. Like, they're growing rapidly, and I think I'm challenging myself to grow rapidly alongside of them. And I think it's just really fun. And now even my husband's into this new growth mindset, and we're just looking for new challenges, and now it kind of feels more exciting and fun, and kind of like we're out of the like really just dragging in the mud phase. And so, yeah, I would say right now in my late 30s with my 3 kids, husband, it's a great time, you know. It is the most joyful because I get to see, I mean, not only am I happy and I experience my joy through my life, but I get to experience it twice, like by watching them experience all these first things that they're experiencing. So that's also what adds to this period being the most joyful. But you know, my 20s, I just feel like it was fun. Like I had my fun of, you know, your fair share of partying, making dumb mistakes and maybe some bad choices. But that's like a different kind of fun, right? And I think with that kind of fun, I had a lot of anxiety and worry for what the future might hold for me. So I couldn't fully enjoy it all the time. Like I was just always worrying about what's the next step. But now that I'm kind of here, it's different. It's kind of experiencing life as is in the moment. And then I get to look forward to future things, like any goals that I have, you know, anything that I'm doing, like this YouTube channel. This is seriously a passion project and something that I want to challenge myself to do. So this is what I get to experience in this next chapter of life. So yeah, I think this is the most joyful and lucky time. All right, I hope this was fun. Join me for the next one. I'll see you guys next week. And if you want to borrow any one of these questions and ask it to your parent and see what they would say, I think it would bring you lots of joy. So, all right, thanks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Bye.